Hey guys, so I am going to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I've kind of been putting it off, but I'm going to do a plan with me for May. So this is going to be a long video. I apologize in advance. I will try to speed up as much as I can, but I am going to try this first one actually drawing it in on camera, so we will see how that goes. So first, let's take a quick look at April. So let's see, where's my front of April? So April is the first month in my fourth bullet journal, and it went pretty well. I've been using this left side page for a couple of months now, and I really like it. I briefly toyed around with the idea of changing it up, but I honestly think I'm probably going to leave it just as is because this works for me. I have a couple of changes as regards the memory log and gratitude, which I like this month, but I kind of want to do something different for May, and I will show you in a second. Reading and tracker, I believe, are going to stay the same. I had also briefly thought about changing up my tracker, and depending, I still actually might, and I'll kind of show you guys what I'm thinking about doing for that. And then I've just got the week. So my April setup was actually pretty short. I am doing 2 challenges this month, but neither of them are actually in here. So my front pages are really just kind of basic. So what I'm going to do is show you how I sort of think up my month if I'm planning on doing some changes. This is my research and development bujo. I've heard different people calling it that, and I thought that was a cute name. So this is my kind of throw around journal that I use to plan various spreads. So what I have here is May. Let's make sure I'm centered. So one of the things that I wanted to do was kind of revamp my habit tracker. So really I do use a tracker, not a habit tracker, because I have certain things that I just want to know if I do or how much I do them or whatever, rather than forcing a habit. But I have a couple of things that I really feel like I've been slacking on that I would like to make more of a habit. So I actually have a couple here, and these are basically the ones that I pulled from. So here, let's see. So I've pulled from my list that I have here, the ones that I wanted to keep, and I've split them into things I track and habits I would like to work on. And because there are only 3, I actually have kind of an idea for how I want to do the setup for that. So we will see how that goes. Then what I do is I look at what I want to be in the front of my month. My month does not tend to change very much just because I have a couple of things that I really like to use, and they're my go-tos. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I really like having a full page divide between the months. I didn't used to do that all the time, and the past couple of months I have been, and it's, I don't know, I just like having that really solid split between months. So what I'm thinking of doing is just having the month on the right page and some kind of a quote on the left. I haven't decided on the quote, so I won't be doing that today, but I will probably letter in May on that page. Then I have my next step, which is going to be my calendar, which will be pretty much identical to this, just May, tasks for May and June. I am, however, going to change up my memory log and gratitude. I had kind of a brainstorm this morning, and so what I want to do is, instead of doing gratitude, I want to do one positive thing that day. So normally I do my gratitude in the morning, and I think I might try and see how it goes doing it in the evening and just writing down one positive thing that happened. So I'll do a line per day. And then instead of the gratitude 2-page spread on the next page, I want to do what I'm gonna call snippets. And basically what I realized is this memory log that I have, I was kind of treating as short journaling, and I want to give myself a little bit more space. So I have not actually done the math on this, so we might just do a running list, but basically what I would like to do is do like my old gratitude, where I just kind of started on day 1, wrote as much as I wanted, and then just did the next one wherever it fell on the line and just wrote a little too. But I'm gonna do that for journaling. So I want to journal 2 or 3 lines per day about the stuff that's gone on, which is going to be different from the positive things that happen. That's going to be one specific thing, whereas the snippets, what I envision is going to be just like a quick little recap of my day. I'm trying it, we'll see how it works, and we'll go from there. Next up is going to be reading and tracker. Those are going to stay the same. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna leave this kind of off camera, but so I can look at it because I am making some changes this month. So what I've got is, let's see. So this is today. I'm actually filming this on Tuesday because I wanted to have time to edit and post this video for Sunday because that will basically be the end of April. So I usually do about 2 days per page when I'm busy, and it seems like this week is going to be kind of busy. So I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I have an extra page. So I'm going to start May right here, okay? And what I'm actually going to do first is something that I try to remember to do because I have definitely accidentally skipped pages, and it is sad. So what I like to do, and I apologize in advance if my head gets in the way, is just write a little note in pencil at the top of the page for what I want to go on each page. So this guy, he's going to go down here because that's a blank space. This is going to be one positive thing. I have to figure out how I want to do the header for that. Then the next page is going to be snippets. I know it's kind of a silly name, it was just what I thought up for it. So we'll see if I actually do that. Then I've got reading and tracker. Okay, so that is where I want my month to go. So since I've actually skipped a couple of pages, I won't accidentally write on one of those and screw up the number of pages I've got left for the end of this month. So next up is my color. So I decided to go for, let's see, number 526. It's kind of like a slate blue, and you'll actually see I sort of tested him out on here. I haven't done blue in a while, and I wanted something that was like vaguely springy, but that wasn't in the pink family since I had just done that for April. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to skip this page because I sometimes like to play around with how I letter things, so I don't yet know. So we're going to go here. So my month. Once again, I tend to do the same thing month to month, which makes it easy. And I am a big proponent of just folding the page over. So I know that these, whoops, there and up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Okay, so one thing that I'm actually considering for this month is because May starts on a Monday, and let's see, April had this like weird little gap here. What I actually think I might do is bump everything up to the top now that I'm looking at this, because I would have this huge space, and May is such a short month, but I can't fit anything else in there. So I think what I'm going to do is bump everything up to the top and then go from there. So we are going to actually erase this. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to skip one line, and I'm just going to erase the bottom one. Okay, so oops, here. There we go. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to just double check. I'm not going to look at my April one because I did it sideways and it's going to throw my brain off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, my last one's only going to have 3 days, but I'll have 4 solid weeks, which is always nice to draw. It's much easier. And the way that I do this is, we'll look here, I actually skip in 2. And you know what I'm going to do this time, because I want to have a little bit of room on the side, I'm actually only going to skip in 1. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do is pull. So we are going to do, we're going to go ahead and do gray like I did last month, because why not? So start at the top. So we're going to skip in 1 and go over. So I just do 1 box by 1 box, and I go down the line. So let's see if I can do this. Okay, then I have to go over. So the way that it works is I basically just skip 1 box and do it that way. So here, I'm gonna make sure I don't smudge. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I like obsessively count, even though I know I just try not to, since I don't pencil out first, I try not to screw it up when I'm going through and doing this. So, oh, you You can tell I've been using this particular fine liner for a while because my nib, I have to do more on the the top part of it. It's harder for me to write on the side, but we'll make it work. And as you can see, I don't use a ruler. I don't really futz too much with it. It's one of the reasons why I like this way of doing my calendar, because it might seem kind of long, and because I'm talking through this, I'm not going to be able to speed up everything. But it's actually pretty fast to do. The first couple of times, it took me a little bit to get it, just because, you know, it's a new style and I had to kind of get the hang of it. But now that I've been doing this for a while, it's pretty straightforward. So now what I have to be careful about is May only has 3 days on the last week. Yes, so I need Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, so I'm actually going to go ahead and do them first. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So I've got my 3 days here, so then I can see where I need to not do a line and a cross, and I just have to do a little like T, if that made sense. Okay, so that is my calendar. So now that I've got that in, I can go ahead and erase. Okay. I take my smallest point, it's a 0.25. Okay. Oops. And let's see, I can take off my little note there. So what I need for June, this is where spacing always gets a little funky. So I need a 6x8 square, and it's kind of weirdly centered. So how am I gonna do this? Let's see. So I think I'm actually gonna write May here. And how much would I need for a 6x8? So let's see here, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8. It's gonna be just right in the center. Oh, that's annoying. How do I want to do this? So all right, we're actually gonna do it like that. And I am actually going to draw the lines like this. Okay, and how did I do it that way? 17, so this is 18 through 20. Okay, so that is my mini calendar, and I'm gonna go ahead erase. Oops, and of course I didn't let that dry enough, so I smudged. Oopsie. Oh well. Okay, so calendars, and I'm kind of weird on this. I don't always write the days of the week. I might go back and do it for this month. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it in this color. So it kind of depends month to month if I actually write the days of the week on the top. There we go. That is actually an S. He just looks really, really weird. Okay, so then what I do is tasks and June. So I need to mark, here's my pencil. So let's see, I'm gonna start it here basically. 12, there. Oh, nice. That wasn't too bad. Cool, I did do that right. All right, so we're gonna do, we're actually going to start up here. Ooh, this is some rough cursive. This is not my normal writing angle, so it's gonna be a little wonky, guys. All right, and then down here. So since I had the space, I just decided to do that for tasks for May. Usually I have them right next to each other, but it is what it is. All right, so now I need, how do I want to do this? I'm actually going to do May a little bit later. We're going to see. So now what's up next? So my next one is one positive thing a day. So I think I'm actually just going to write one positive thing. And I am going to look because I have 30 days in this month. I want to see how I did my spacing. Okay, so if I do 2 and then skip 2, beautiful. And I'm actually going to center it left for this one because I think that'll look nice. Okay, and I'm actually gonna see. So I remembered, I actually have a Staedtler in this color. So we're gonna do it that color. Okay, so that is this basically done. I do still have to write May in here, but we will do that a little bit later. So now, snippets. I'm actually going to do this one super simply, just because of how I kind of envision it. I'm gonna go ahead and erase. And I'm just going to mark for the first. We're going to skip 2 lines there. I like to circle the numbers on this because it'll be in the middle of like a line of writing, which is why I've picked a color as well. So I'm just going to leave this blank because I'm going to let myself have a couple of lines per day, but I'm not actually going to pre-number it. So that spread is done. Next is my reading and my tracker. So let's take a look. Oops. That actually will work just fine for May because May is also a small month. I'll only use the Tombos to do my headers if the month is fairly small because otherwise I just don't have enough space to fit everything. And I think I did 2. All right, May reading. Then, oopsie daisy, let's see, so skipping 2. Okay. And this, let's see, I'm gonna check. There's 4 weeks in May, so I'm going to say that my goal is 4 books. Okay, and the rest I will leave open. All right, hopefully, let's see. So now for the tracker. Oops, there we are. So how exactly? So yes, what I'm actually gonna do is, I like to start at the very bottom so I have this much space to write. So we are just gonna go ahead and start this. So I skip in 2 to do the numbers, and I'm actually gonna do them in 0.38 gel pen, and May is also 30, oh, May is 31 days. Just kidding. I keep thinking it's June. This always throws me off when I'm looking at how many days it has. So May has 31 days. Oh, good call, Caitlin. 31 days. Just kidding. There we go, all fixed. So we are gonna skip in. Okay. And then I'll start at the top, and it starts on a Monday, which is nice. Okay, so what I do now, before I do anything else, like drawing lines, I find my gray, and I'm going to look, at what I'm going to track. So I am going to just double check that I didn't forget anything. Yes, all right, so I am actually going to turn this way to write. So hopefully I'm in there. So this section is actually just going to be for tracking this time. So I need my ruler. Oops, there we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this guy. Yeah, we're gonna use this guy. And so you'll notice that I've got quite a few fewer things than I have in the past. Let's see, turn this back this way. All right, so I do like to sometimes leave a little bit of room. That way, if something comes up during the month, I have a place to add it. But I'm gonna show you how I'm planning on doing, oh dear, that got a little weird. So this amount to here. This pen's not as thick, so I'm having a harder time seeing where the ends are. And I tend to leave it fairly like open-ended. I don't close out. What I usually will do is if I have a couple of things, so let's get me centered. So for example, I'm actually gonna just draw a line between this because it's kind of home stuff and then like language, reading, art stuff. It's just sort of an arbitrary line, but it helps me the further I get along just to kind of see where I am. Gives me a place to track sort of where I am in the line. Okay, so there. Now, what I'm gonna do is, I guess I need to write this, don't I? How do I want to do this one? I think, because I've done everything on the left, I think I'm actually just going to do a pretty standard. And this one, I might actually do a secondary header for the next bit. So, oops, there we go. All right, so now that I've finished this, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do my habits. And this is something I actually saw, I've seen a couple people do it, but recently this was something that I saw Haley from Haley Journals do. And I thought this was a cute idea for trying to keep track of some habits. So what I'm actually gonna do is, we're gonna use gray, I think. I am going to create little sort of calendars. I'm not actually going to number all the calendars because that's just kind of annoying because I don't want to do a bunch, but I've got only 3 habits that I really would like to try and do every day in the month of May, and I think that's a pretty reasonable number. So what I'm going to do is sort of center in here. So as usual, I'm going to need, so this I'm actually not going to do the whole thing, so I need 5 by 7. Yeah, so rather than a 6 by 8, which I do 6 by 8 because I add in the days of the week and then the weeks, I'm gonna just do a 5 by 7. So we are gonna say, let's see, how many lines do I have? So I've got 17 lines and I need 7, which means if I center and I leave 5 and 5, that'll put me right in the middle. Beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna just start kind of up at the top, just as a way to start. 2, 4, 5. So this is going to be one end. 2, 4, 6, 7. That's the other end. And then I need 5. So 3, 4, 5. And then I need only until Wednesday. So I'm going to do it like this. So you see I've kind of got my little May thing. And because of the way this is spaced, I'm actually just going to go ahead and start the next one right here. So it gives me 2 little spaces between. And then it's going to be 2, 4, 5 there and there, and then I'm gonna do the same thing. 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 5, 3, and there. Okay, so I've just got my rough little calendar. I have room if I want to add in another. I don't think I necessarily will, so I can always fill that up with something else, but at least this kind of gives me a little bit of space. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do gray for this, and the question is, do I want a ruler? Yes, I do. All right, we're gonna do this. So you'll see I rarely do ruler, but sometimes, usually on my tracker page, it happens. And this one, I'm gonna have to be very careful and let everything dry before I erase my pencil so I don't smudge it like I did last time. Okay, so got my little calendar. So at least if I look at it, I'll know what day I'm on, but I'm not going to worry about actually numbering them or anything. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and label these. So this is going to be and what I'm also going to do is kind of pretend this has a line down the middle, and I'm going to give it another little header. And I'm actually going to skip down 2. So, or actually I'm going to skip down. Yeah, I'm going to skip down 2. Can you tell I'm kind of winging this? And honestly, this is the way I plan. Sometimes I will think things up ahead of time, and sometimes it'll just sort of come to me as I am working on it, and I'll just kind of run with it, because you know what? Next month, if I don't like this one, I can change it, and that's all there is to it. All right, so that is my habits. So let's see. So this will be my first weekly, which I am not actually going to do since I already had a plan with me of that. It's going to be basically the same, I believe. So what I do need to do, however, is letter, and I think I'm going to do, I'm looking at this space and it's really small, so I'm trying to figure out how I want to actually fit that in, because I would rather, yeah, I think I'm going to try, it's going to be tight, but we're going to try it. You know what? You only live once. Okay, so, and I'm actually gonna do, whoops, here. I'm actually gonna do the year just because I have so much extra space. Cool. So that is this done. And now what I need is my first page. So I won't be doing the quote today just because I don't know what quote yet that I want to do. And I am going to letter. Honestly, so let's see, what did I do for April? Was my watercolor page. And I don't have anything specific that I want to watercolor. So I think I'm just going to keep it simple like this, but May. Let's see, and I'm actually, sorry guys, I'm going to turn this way. And I don't actually count the middle, I just kind of go for it. All right, so May. And I'm not actually going to write the year on this because I just kind of like how that looks. So let's erase. There we go. All right, and that is May. So we've got my intro page, which I will finish up at some point, but this is at least a placeholder, so I'm ready for May. I've got my monthly calendar, which I will fill in a bit later, tasks for May, my upcoming tasks for June. So what I do often do, and I will do this a little bit later, but I'll show you. So I'll look at anything that I have in June and I'll move any Calendex stuff to here. And if I add new stuff, sometimes I'll add it in here, but I might add it here as well. So it's just kind of to help me know if there's anything big coming up. I've got my one positive thing, which is new this month, kind of replacing my gratitude log. I've got snippets, which is replacing my memory log / weekly journaling that I was doing for a while. So this is a new one I'm gonna test out. And then I've got my May reading, which I'm just going to do any books I don't finish in April, I'll migrate over and then add any new ones that I'm working on. And then we've got the tracker and the habits that I want to work on this month. So yeah, this is really simple. Sometimes I'll go back and decorate it. Lately I just haven't been doing that. I just want it to be functional. So this is my bare minimum setup for the month, and then anything that gets added later is kind of spur of the moment whenever it comes to mind. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, let me know. I hope you enjoyed watching this plan with me. I hope it also is not super terribly long. I will, again, try and speed up the parts that I can when I go back and edit this. And if you like it, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more, think about subscribing to the channel. Bye.